With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace. Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Наші програми пропонуються на багатьох мовах. Будь ласка, завітайте suprememastertv.com /schedule і suprememastertv.com /WOW.
Also, be sure to follow us on our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Getter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Nico, Pinterest, Reddit, Substack, Telegram, Threads, TikTok, Truth Social, Tumblr, VK, and X, previously known as Twitter, in multiple languages by searching Supreme Master TV.
Practitioners, too, have started identifying different masters and monasteries as different lineages. They jealously eye each other's dwellings, students, and renown. They run around everywhere, not content with mountain hermitages or isolated places. Please continue watching to find out more.
Being unconditional is super special. It attracts all like a magnet. But it's hard to do. Who can it be? Can you look around and see? You knew. We bet. Okay, try from now. See if you pass the test. Sure, with flying colors through. Oh, God bless. It's you.
Yeah.
This is not Egypt, but this cat's treated like a deity.
Enthusiastic greetings, dear viewers. Samba no means how are you in Mongolian. I am Amarjad. In Mongolia, Buddhist practices centered around major monasteries, most notably Kanten Tekchingling in Ulaanbaatar. However, the Choklinthirsar, a treasure cycle revealed by Chokyur Teching Limpa, vegetarian, is also practiced by followers of the Kagyu and Nyingma schools. We are deeply grateful to the sincere, devoted Mongolian Buddhists, for whom the Dharma is a source of moral clarity and inner peace. May the wisdom of the Tibetan enlightened masters bless your life and bring you ever closer to divine compassion. Welcome to the Wisdom of Unity, Teachings of the Venerated Chokyur Teching Limpa, Vegetarian, Part 1 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. Tibetan Buddhism is a religion with a rich cultural heritage that emerged from a wide range of spiritual practices. These include the complete scope of the Buddha's teachings from the Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana traditions. Different schools belonging to Tibetan Buddhism today include the Nyingma, founded by the venerated enlightened master Padmasambhava, vegetarian; Kagyu, founded by the venerated enlightened master Tilopa, vegetarian; Sakya, founded by the venerated enlightened master Konchuk Gyalpo, vegetarian, and his son, the venerated enlightened master Sachin Gompa Nyampo, vegetarian; and Geluk, founded by the venerated enlightened master Tsongkhapa Lobsang Jakpa, vegetarian. The teachings of Tibetan Buddhism focus on mindfulness of death and the ephemeral nature of life, leading to diligence in meditation and spiritual practice. Mandalas, prayer flags, and tanka paintings are visual reminders for practitioners on the path. Master Chogyur Teshig Rinpa, vegetarian, was a prominent Tibetan Buddhist master and treasure revealer who lived in the 19th century. His life and teachings have had a profound impact on the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, particularly within the Nyingma and Kagyu schools. His teachings are known for their simplicity and applicability to modern life. Central to his teachings is the cultivation of compassion and bodhicitta, the altruistic aspiration to attain enlightenment, peace, and wisdom. We are pleased to present valuable guidance of Master Chogyur Teshig Rinpa, vegetarian. In an address to disciples, he sets out a vision of non-sectarianism in which he emphasizes the commonality of traditions and decries the divisiveness that periodically plagues Tibet and constitutes an act of forsaking the Dharma. Advice on non-sectarianism. From the beginning, naturally pure wakefulness is the basic space of everything. Within it, all pure and impure phenomena are, by nature, non-arisen. At the same time, they are also self-arisen through the potency of unobstructed display. Among all, everything that is good and beneficial for the world, the appearing vessel, together with its living contents, all sentient beings, arises from the inseparable wisdom and great compassion that is the wisdom activity of the perfect Buddhas. And the main foundational activity consists in the propagation of the Dharma teachings. As Shantideva said, "May the Dharma, suffering's only cure and the source of all real happiness, always be valued and respected and remain long into the future." Accordingly, it is due to the kindness of Dharma kings, translators, and scholars that the precious teachings of the victors, source of all benefit and happiness, were able to spread and flourish in the world in general and in the snowy mountains of Tibet in particular. Thus, the great preceptor Tantarakshita granted ordination to the 7 men of trial and propagated far and wide the teachings of the Vinaya, the root of the doctrine. The master Padmasambhava subjugated the gods and spirits of Tibet, binding them with a powerful seal, and he eliminated the essential teachings, the resultant tantras, like the sun. He also prescribed various things that should be done in order to establish auspicious connections for the long life of the king and the spread of the teachings of the victors, such as turning a valley of sand into a grassy meadow. However, at that time, there were evil ministers who delighted in the dark side. They drove a wedge of slander between the master and the king, and as a result, the king did not ask the master to establish these auspicious connections. Thus, for instance, the necessary orders were not given to the 12 Tenma goddesses to prevent the appearance of extremists in Tibet. The master therefore prophesied that due to this failure to create the right auspicious conditions, in the future disputes would arise within the Buddhist teachings. This prophecy has now come to pass. Since the point of teaching and study is practice, it is not right to separate scholastic from practical endeavors. And yet today, those engaging in study and those engaging in practice are set apart. Scholars call practitioners ignorant meditators, saying that now is not the time for practice, and so on. They see them as bull-headed, these great meditators whose focus is on practice, and they criticize them endlessly. Likewise, Practitioners heap scorn on scholars, describing as meaningless their earnest activities of study and contemplation, teaching and listening. For them, this is but a parrot recitation of the Dharma. Nowadays, merely having a different preceptor and monastery is tantamount to belonging to a different sect or lineage. People are partisan, biased towards their own monasteries, their own localities. They favor the masters and preceptors of their local community, and so it goes on. Even those who follow the same texts and the words of the same masters go their separate ways, blown apart on the breeze. Practitioners, too, have started identifying different masters and monasteries as different lineages. They jealously eye each other's dwellings, students, and renown. They run around everywhere, not content with mountain hermitages or isolated places. And yet, if I investigate closely, I do not find any view or school of thought that is superior to any other, or even particularly different.
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God, and Supreme Master Ching Hai shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey, and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love, and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
There are but slight variations in the way young monks debate about red and white colors, and mantrikas or reciters place their vajra or thunderbolt and bell. Great meditators also differ slightly in their understanding and perception of their experiences, but their ultimate goal and destination remain the same, the single final intent of the victorious ones, of all the sutras and tantras, scriptures and commentaries. This, however, is not sufficient to address all the slight variations in the mindset of individuals. Thus, the so-called old school or Nyama and new school or Sarma respectively designate the earlier and later propagation of the teachings and are otherwise no different in terms of view or practice. Nevertheless, we call them so in order to identify their different teaching styles. Similarly, the Kadambas, Sakyabas, 4 elder and 8 later Katyobas, the Jonang, Talo, Bodambas, Katambas, and so on, may all hold different lineages with different conventions, but their ultimate view and accomplishments are the same. Therefore, since all doctrines are intermingled and no one teaching stands apart, there is no point in talking about different monasteries and lines of transmission. Ultimately, all these distinctions are a complete delusion. For more information, please visit latsabahouse.org.
Vegan leader sent by heaven.
Thank, love, praise, and pray to the 3 reunited, most powerful, God, Timquo II, and the Son of God.
Loving viewers, thank you for joining us for today's Words of Wisdom. Please join us again tomorrow for the Wisdom of Unity, Teachings of the Venerated Chakyurta Chinglimpa, Vegetarian, Part 2 of 2. Coming up next is Kids with Brilliant Ideas for Brighter Future, Part 2 of 2. May divine light guide you with joy and peace as you embrace the path of veganism.
Being vegan, having peace, heaven Godspeed.